r/AskReddit. What are you in the 1% of? I can stop my hiccups on command. There's a superpower for sure. If I shake my head in a certain way, I can give myself an orgasm. Never met anyone who can do that. Wow, that sounds incredibly inconvenient. At an amusement park. Fuck, I'm coming. What? Sounds like another reason to be extra careful when hitting a pothole. I'm naturally ambidextrous. Apparently that's something only 1% of people naturally are. I can use both right and left hands ably for any task. For example, I often switch which hand I write with based on how I'm sitting. It's worth noting natural ambidexterity is not the same as learned or acquired ambidexterity. For example, left-handed people often have to use things designed for right-handed people but otherwise are left-handed. I'm of the 0.02% of people with osteopoiculosis. This freaked the shit out of me because when I was diagnosed the first thing the doctor said was, "Wow, I've never seen this in anything but textbooks before." Basically, I have bones growing inside my bones. It's not anything I should be worried about, at least for a while, so that's nice. Does that make the bones stronger? What does that change? Makes them more brittle and can cause some joint pain, so not a huge deal, but not like oh cool, I'll just proceed to ignore this now. Not me but my dad. He was born with a backwards heart and didn't find out till his heart attack a few years ago, and it actually saved his life. His doctor later told him that after being a doctor for over 30 years he'd never seen someone with a backwards heart, and that apparently 1% of people on the planet have it. How did it save his life? My guess is that his coronary arteries are also flipped, and therefore the one that was blocked would typically be the one to kill you, Widowmaker. Hyperhidrosis. Excessively sweaty armpits for no reason. I could be sitting there completely at ease and sweat rolls down my sides from my pits. I have found a product to fix the issue, however I know no one else who has the same issue personally. I had this problem too. It's a lot more common than you think, it's just that people are kind of ashamed of it. I ruined so many pieces of clothing over the years that the first time I was able to wear twice the same top I cried. Sweating for no reason is a self-esteem crusher. I fell off a 100-foot cliff and landed head-first on rocks. Broke my neck and back. Smashed up a lot of my body. Had to travel about a mile to find help immediately after the fall. Doctor said I caused more damage by trying to walk for help, but would have bled out if I stayed where I fell. 15 months later, I am powerlifting and ran a half marathon. Should not be alive, much less be able to walk. Edit. How? Camping on a mountain. Found a spot to lay down and observe the stars. Had to pee, stepped into woods, lost my footing. Geronimo. Injuries: head was scalped. Huge piece of flesh was just hanging off my head. Must have been a sight to the folks whose door I knocked on in the middle of the night for help. Neck was broken and had to wear an immobilizing neck brace for many months 24/7, as they were concerned surgery may cause more damage. Initially I had a loss of sensation in my hands. Multiple vertebrae were broken, one had broken into over a dozen pieces. The neurosurgeon figures that impact my body folded in half, causing that one to essentially explode. I had to have spinal fusion and relearn how to walk after. Multiple ribs broken. Recovery. At first I essentially lived in one of those geriatric chairs that lift you up to stand. I could barely get around with a walker. Sitting on the toilet was the most excruciating thing. At some point it turned into laxative use and stand in the shower. I couldn't bend or care for myself much in any way. Some of my friends think that being a Marine made me tough enough to survive this, but I credit an inherent stubbornness to never give up. I constantly pushed through the pain to get myself to the next level. From walker, to cane, to walking sticks. The neurosurgeon told me the best thing I could do for physical therapy was walk, so boy did I. At first I could barely make it to the end of the block and back. then a quarter mile, then on and on. Every hard effort day required a day or two of sitting in the chair and suffering through the pain. Got off meds the moment that I could stand to. 5 months after the accident I got on a treadmill and tried to run. The impacts were excruciating, but I kept coming back for more and more. At 10 months I was able to race in a 5K on Memorial Day in honor of a fallen veteran. I raced my heart out and was able to run it in less than 30 minutes. I immediately began half-marathon training and at 14 months was able to finish at about 2 hours and 40 minutes. Started back to lifting serious weights at about 11 months and here I am in month 16 about to become a member of the 1,000-pound club. Bench press, deadlift, and squat all totaling 1,000 pounds, I still deal with pain regularly and I have a lot of discomfort that makes sleep challenging. I've still got a couple of months until the bones reached 100% of their healing potential. It's been quite a journey. Never give up, my friends. When I was 16, I was unlucky enough for both my jack and 2 of my jack stands to fail while I was under my truck, fixing the exhaust. My head was exactly where the gas tank had been before I dropped it out and my body was crushed between my bench and the truck. My dad walked into the garage and freaked the fuck out, yelling, crying, screaming, "Are you okay? Are you alive?" And couldn't hear me saying, I'm good, get me out." Over his own sobs, absolutely convinced I was dead, but panic screaming, until he saw my legs moving. He lifted the truck back up, I walked over to the chair and sat down while he called an ambulance. Walked in the vehicle, walked into the hospital, walked to the x-ray. Doctor ran in, white-faced, put me in a neck brace and strapped me to a bed, telling me I broke me neck, back and crushed half of my rib cage. At any moment, I could have moved wrong and boom, death or paralyzed. Nearly zero problems healing up and the worst was the surgery to fix my ribs and was only out of commission for about 5 months. I got fucking lucky. You know it's bad when the doctor is panicked. I'm glad you're good though. If you liked this video, make sure to leave a like and comment down below what top 1% you are in. Also make sure to subscribe while you're there.